Morning, everybody. Got a quick little review. Maybe not even a review, more like an overview. I'm not an expert on plasma cutting, so don't expect to get all the information out of me. I've wanted one of these for a long time. I would say this was probably the second cheapest plasma cutter on Amazon, that it was capable of 230 volts, which I've got the adapter there, and this is a special 220, 240 extension cord that I made for my welder, so I can get further away than just the garage. But like I said, here's the adapter cord that comes with it. This machine came with everything to make it run. You do have to put the regulator on it. There's the power switch. It took me a minute to get this hose to stop leaking. Those little clamps wanted to be really tight. Uses the common PT31 torch. So yeah, let's look at this real quick. This was the very first cut that I made with it. I'm pretty happy with that. This is 1/4 inch. That was 40 amps and I believe 40 psi. That cut took about, I don't know, 5 seconds maybe. And this corner cut here I did with a angle grinder and a thin disc. I bet that took at least 4 or 5 minutes. So 5 minutes, 5 seconds. Let's go ahead and plug our air in. Got myself a little bit of a rat's nest going on here. So currently I believe I still have it set on 40 amps. The post time I have set on 6, which I'm pretty sure is seconds. They got this handy dandy little gauge here on the front of the machine to give you a rough guesstimation of amps and pressures. Actually, it looks like the gauge just does pressure. You're on your own for amps. This is a piece of 3/8 that I cut using 45 amps and 50 psi, and it needed more pressure. But it still cut it just fine. But that would be a lot of mess to clean up. This is a drag tip. The consumables for the PT31 are super inexpensive, and you can buy like packages of 25 on Amazon and replace them as needed. I made kind of a crude little guide that can be clamped onto the torch. It's absolutely not needed with a drag torch or drag tip, but when you're doing flat stock, it is a lazy way to keep the thing cutting at a 90-degree angle. So I'm reinforcing a car trailer frame. So I've got a 6-foot piece of 2x6 box. I believe this is 3/16 wall. So I'm going to cut this box steel into an L shape. So I'm going to do this long cut down this radius. I've got a piece of steel clamped on there as a guide. And after I get that cut, we're going to lay this over this frame rail where it got all bunch of rust damage from the way the fenders were welded on this thing from the factory. So I'm going to get the camera set up, and we'll go ahead and fire this guy off. I've got the ground clamp on there, and we'll see how well it does cutting this big of a piece of metal and this long of a cut. But I suspect that it'll be just fine. I have to confess that I don't have the appropriately rated shaded goggles to be able to see what I'm doing. I don't like using a welding helmet for plasma cutting, so I'll be buying an inexpensive pair of plasma goggles on Amazon. For now, I just got my sunglasses on so that I can see, because I need heavy prescription. Try and, if you're going to use sunglasses, just try and keep the plasma out of your eyesight. When you're cutting something like this, it's not normally a problem. All right, let's go ahead and do this. I'll try and do a little bit better consistent cut on the other side. So I'll get this flipped over and we'll cut the other side. Okay, we're set up to do the other side. Long cut. I'm going to try and go a little bit slower and a little bit more consistent so I don't have to do a bunch of cleanup. I'd call that a success. Made a little bit of a mess in there, but that'll all clean up. My back started getting tired, so I was getting sloppy. But overall, I'm very happy with this machine. Normally this is where I'd probably say if you have any questions or comments, put them down in the comments below, but Like I said, I'm not an expert plasma guy. I'm just kind of reading the manual and following the instructions. It probably could use a little bit of tweaking, but if I tried to do that with cut-off discs, it probably would have taken a couple hours. So anyways, hopefully this helps somebody make up their mind if they want to try and buy the old Hynade 50. Yeah, see, most of this stuff will pick off of there. But yeah, very happy with it. Still pretty toasty. Gonna be lots of C-clamping and tweaking and beating and banging with a hammer to get this guy to fit exactly how I want it to. But now I'm gonna take the plasma cutter and I'm gonna notch out this part of the frame and do a little finish grinding on the edges. I'll probably fish plate the ends so that they're a little bit more appropriate. And man, like I said, if I had to do this all with a grinder, because I don't have an oxyacetylene torch, all I have is cutoff discs, it would take me a year to get this done. So far I give this machine 5 stars. I'll update in the future if I have any problems with it. We'll see you on the next one.